I want to see Franz branch out and start a restaurant. Like
That would be great.
Like Franzie's.
That'd be perfect. So today we're going to be talking with my good friend BlaqMario, aka Adam Warren, the vocalist of Oceano. He's a really great dude, a good friend. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff like his love for retro gaming, the future of gaming, his band, metal, the direction it's going, Warped Tour, everything. Just talk about a ton of different stuff. Adam is a really, really good dude, and his stream is really entertaining. Down in the description, I'll put a link to his Twitch channel where you can get on there and watch him playing some retro Nintendo games and a bunch of stuff. And then also I'll put a link to my Twitch channel where I do creative streams, writing metal, and also playing games and just hanging out and chilling. So hope to see you guys in there, and thank you for being here watching this video. Let's get to talking. So this is Adam Warren, vocalist of Oceano, aka BlaqMario, streamer on Twitch. Your stream went well, you said?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. A lot of new people hopped in and stuff, so that's nice.
That's always good. And so like the big thing that I've always known about you, even before you started doing this, was that you're so into retro gaming and whatnot. Yeah. And that's obviously a huge focus on your stream as well. Like, the big thing that I wanted to kind of really talk about in this conversation was like kind of retro gaming or just gaming as a whole. Like what the appeal is to you of like retro games. Like what's the, you're a Super Nintendo fanboy, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I like generally everything retro. I guess starting with when like NES came out. I don't really do too much like like Atari stuff. Even though I like it, it's just
it's a little too like
Like why would you if you can play like all the other stuff that's way better? So
for sure. Yeah, and I feel like is it like a nostalgic thing as to what about like kind of retro gaming is so appealing to you? Like, is there something about it that do you love the artwork, the sounds, or do you just love the different style of gameplay, or what about it is it?
I think probably both nostalgia, a little bit of like childhood angst, kind of like a like personal vendetta of like being an adult and being able to try all these games that I mean, some of them are more expensive now, but they're it's just kind of like I know that I can I know about these games that just kind of come under the radar now. They all exist. There's no more coming out for the most part. It's easier to kind of just pinpoint cool ones. And then definitely also just, it was a simpler time for games. So I like that. Yeah. Just a lot of stuff you're not going to play like most NES games. You're not going to sit and play them for like 5 hours. Just like play it for like, a couple hours tops, maybe 30 minutes, and then move on or do something else. So yeah, I always like that.
Definitely. 1 second. My camera is crapping out. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I see it. It's frozen.
We'll do a quick edit on that. All right. Yeah, and that's like you said, it was a different time for games, and I feel like maybe you feel the same, but I feel like older games are so much harder.
Yeah.
Like, they're way more difficult. Even though the game is so simple, like something about just like basic mechanics like that makes it that much harder. Like, do you think that the same?
Yeah, I feel like it's a blend of like some games it's like a lot of games were really good back then. Like, oh my god, I don't know of a reference, but like this game was so good, and then you go back to it now and it's like, no, that game was hard because it just sucked. Like there's a lot of that. I think within certain retro games and other ones. Yeah,
Dragon's Lair or whatever. You couldn't pass the first level or whatever.
Yeah,
the impossible game just because it's so badly made.
Yeah,
yeah, and it's like all the games basically had like two mechanics. Like it's infamous when in those styles there was like such little, like the original Zelda. Like you're playing Breath of the Wild right now on stream.
Yeah,
but so like deeper. Yeah, exactly, and that's one thing that I do love that I feel like Nintendo still kind of does is they kind of still keep certain aspects. Like I was watching you play Breath of the Wild, and the thing where you were like holding up the bowl and like catching the balls, it's still very like tactile and still very like I don't know, a basic kind of mechanic, but it's not some crazy far-fetched thing like Halo. Like, I don't know. I feel like Nintendo still keeps it like very like tactile and like basic in its mechanics, even in the new games. Do you think that's the same?
Yeah, it kind of seems like they add little things and kind of grow on the original mechanics of the games, where they don't just wipe the whole slate clean and then make a whole whole new concept. They kind of just build on the past. That's what I like. That's definitely one of the things I like about Nintendo. Yeah. It's always accessible enough, which I think for me that's the thing is if I had a choice, I'd rather play games with people in person. So I like that. Hey, you want to try Zelda? Maybe they won't like it, but at least they'll get it really quickly. Yeah. Even if I might be better than them, but I'm only better because I played it longer, not because I'm a better gamer. You know what I'm saying? So I like that a lot.
Yeah, those games take like time to really even though the mechanics are so basic, it still takes a ton of time to really like get it down. Like I really got into speedrunning recently, and that stuff is insane how much that people break the things down like frame by frame. It's craziness with those older games, man.
Yeah. I'm not that surgical with my approach.
Is there a system that you feel was like the most underrated, like that, like in Nintendo itself, or really just retro ones? Like, I don't know, do you think there was one that people took for granted or wasn't as big as you thought it could have been?
Yeah, I guess I don't get crapped on about it, but it's just probably the fairly unpopular opinion, but probably two. I really like Virtual Boy for one. That's probably the one that everyone craps on, but it's actually cool. It's a cool concept for the time. And then Wii U, I actually like a lot. It's just now like there's so many games on Wii U that are now on Switch, so it's kind of like it's like if you had it, you like it, you had it, but now it's just kind of like we can forget about it, because all the good stuff came out on Switch.
And I'm not too familiar with Virtual Boy. What was that?
It's like you put it on you probably remember what it looks like. It's like it was red and black, and then you put your face in it, and it basically like it's like 3D, but it's more just tricking your eyes kind of thing.
That's
and
crazy.
It's just red and black. That's the only color. So it still has generally like Game Boy style graphics, but just it's more there's depth to the game. Like
that's crazy.
Different levels of depth to it.
And that's one thing also, like that's a good example of something that's like Nintendo seems to always try to be ahead of the curve in like technology. You know?
And sometimes they fail.
Yeah, I mean, doing on the Wii with like the nunchucks and stuff. I don't know. I thought it was great. At first, it was really the only one that had like a motion tracking thing, And so I just thought that Nintendo is always ahead of the curve, and the Switch is like next level ahead of the curve. I feel.
Yeah, it's like just trying new things is always cool. They're like that's what Nintendo is basically like as far as for like the gaming industry side of things. They're kind of like a toy company, and then on the other side of it, they're kind of like a concept, console company where like everything is like a weird, cool concept that then comes out retail and it either hits or misses.
Yeah, and their branding, like no other console really has like such characters in it, and I feel like that it is because Nintendo is very specific about their branding and making these new games. They've really made characters that people love and they're gonna keep forever.
It's like like the Disney thing, like just really that once like Disney makes one movie, like Moana or something like that, it just sticks after that movie, and then it's just like, all right, we can use this in anything we want now. It just sticks and it's marketable.
Do you think that Nintendo could ever make anything new that could create a new character that is of a stature that's like that? In the sense of like Mario or Donkey Kong or something?
I don't think probably not. I don't think it wouldn't eclipse like Mario or Luigi, but like Splatoon is I think the closest thing. It seems like Splatoon has a better presence with the characters in like Japan. Like I haven't been there, but from what I see, it seems like Splatoon is really popping off more in Japan with those characters and stuff. Like they're super just, they're super that vibe. Over here, it's a thing, but you look at like on Twitch and stuff. Splatoon's not a game that a lot of people are playing compared to all the other stuff. But in its realm, it seems like Splatoon is the game that they kind of took a risk on, and it's doing good, and the characters are marketable. And I think the squid, what, the Inklings, that's what they're called. They're supposed to be in Smash, so.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, they're gonna be the next big Nintendo characters.
Nice. Yeah, I saw on whenever they very first were promoting the Switch, they had the promo video had like this thing where they walked into an arena holding Switches, and Splatoon was like this big esports thing. I was like, they're gonna try to push that into some sort of esport.
yeah. I was trying to. I might still try, but I was really in that mindset. Like Splatoon is new enough, where compared to like Smash, it's like I could play Splatoon. So I've played it since the first one on Wii U to like try and get more competitive with it, and I just got really burnt from playing it too much. And I was like, I need to take a break. Maybe I can pick back up, but I don't know. It's hard to be competitive with games. It's like,
oh yeah, dude.
It turned into like a regimen more than just a leisure like activity.
Exactly, dude. That was something I had recently. I was just like, I got so burnt out just of always trying so freaking hard in like Rocket League and all that stuff, and I was just like, that's why I was just like, I'm sticking on RuneScape for a minute.
That's why you slowed down with Rocket League.
Yeah, I was like, I streamed Rocket League today. It is a lot of fun, but like sometimes you just don't want to compete. You just want to play a game, and that's like. To me, that's the perfect thing with Nintendo. Like it is literally a console you can turn on and just play a game for fun. Have a good time with it. And do you think that did you ever play any other systems? Like obviously you did, but anything obviously you've played PlayStation before or whatever. But like anything.
What's PlayStation?
Was there any games that like stuck with you like on Xbox or PlayStation back in the day, or were you just always like all about the Nintendo grind?
I never owned any of those. Like I owned I started with like Game Boy, Super Nintendo. I had a GameCube, and then I kind of fell off between like sports and then music, and I kind of came back later with like Wii and Wii U and then onward. But trying to like. My friends all had that stuff, so like I like dabbled, but there really wasn't like, I think the last time I really was surrounded by games when I kind of stopped doing it for a while and stopped really like paying attention to it as much was like my friends played Halo, like original Halo a lot, but I was garbage at it, but it was a cool time, because that was kind of when like shooters were starting to become huge. And so like it was nice. That's probably the best times I remember of me playing first person shooters with anyone, because it was still like, it wasn't like you just get squashed with someone who's been playing the game for their life, So it was cool to play Halo with people that were really good, but they weren't at that point. Like Halo was just still new, so like a year out, and still I could still get a kill off someone, and like or steal a kill from someone else. Yeah, and that was like a cool time. I think Halo was the most like all my friends were playing Halo and doing with like the LAN parties and stuff like that with Halo. I think that was the one that I enjoyed enough until fast forward, a little bit when they started getting really good, and it was just like, there's no point.
Yeah, that was like the Halo 1 to me was the time when it was like, dang, like gaming is becoming awesome. Like, I always had played other games, and like there was, there's GoldenEye on the N64 and whatnot, but like even that wasn't the competition that you got on like an Xbox. It just like playing Halo 1, it just, like you said, getting everyone together and like, switching controllers after each match, like the winner stays, like, I don't know, it just, Halo 1 was like the perfect like way to advance first person shooters and just gaming as a whole.
It pushed it to a new level.
Yeah,
and Xbox Live was like smashing it too. Like
heck
it was like that was pretty cool. Like online gaming was picking up and stuff like that.
Yeah. And yeah, man, you do have like a big collection of crap. Like I can see, everyone can see all your stuff behind you. Do you have like a kind of like a prized possession or a game you're super stoked that you have, or just like all of them? Like, do you have one thing you're just like, I searched for this sucker and I found it and I got it?
Yeah, probably the more unique stuff that you just can't buy in a store. So it's probably like three things. So like the kiosk stuff, so like the store kiosk stuff, since you just can't get that. So I have a Wii U kiosk, and then a Game Boy Advance kiosk. So like,
Really?
yeah, those are really unique. So I'm really stoked on those. And then I have I don't know, like five or six consoles in the Blockbuster rental cases.
Dang, Blockbuster.
Yeah, it's like stuff like
That,
that. Like that was really cool, because Blockbuster and that whole
yeah.
time of
No,
gaming was really sweet.
definitely. Those are like ultra collectibles.
Yeah.
That's sick. Yeah, it's crazy. Like you look at some games and like, oh, it's such an old game, but you'll look at, like Final Fantasy VII. That sucker, you can't buy it for like less than $150 or something. Like some of those games really like hold, or even you go up to a game store and you try to buy Pokemon Yellow, out of box, and it's $50. It's crazy how those games have like held their value, if not even more so. Legator Guitars, huge sponsor for the stream. I got to give a huge shout out to them for sending me this sick Ninja Series 7-string guitar. Has a really nice white wood grain finish to it. The neck is really thin, which I love. Feel like I have way more control over it, and I can reach the whole thing. Also, it is super light. It is half the weight of the other guitar that I was playing before this. I love the thing. It sounds great. It feels great. Looks great. LegatorGuitars.com. Go check it out.
I wonder where like newer games, because they mass produce them so crazy now. Like with some of the the bigger titles and stuff. I'm like curious when we're like, I don't know, when they're like what 70s or something. Like, is it going to be the same thing? Like, or is it just going to be like Nintendo? Because it seems like 360, PS3 games, even a lot of PS2 games aren't really like as collectible as the older stuff. But I'm curious to see if like PS3 or PS4 stuff years from now is going to be like that. I just be very interested in that.
I don't know. Like, I just don't feel like any game on PlayStation or Xbox really has the characters that like Nintendo does.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anything competes with Nintendo as far as like brandable characters and stuff. Like, really, what you have, Master Chief.
Yeah,
that's it. Like,
they're catching on now, like with the remakes, like the Crash remakes and the Spyro remakes. And
the Spyro one's gonna be sick. I'm super stoked on that.
But it's like different. It's like they're giving it new life by just remaking it, and it almost seems like when you like do a remaster of the game, the other game becomes obsolete and the price just kind of stays the same, or it goes lower. It doesn't make the old game as like desirable anymore because they remade it. So it's like
because people love the original Spyro, and so if it's just like a straight up remake, it's like, why not play the one that runs at 60 FPS? Yeah.
Unless you're a weird collector like me, and then you're like, nah, old one.
I just feel like games now are just they're like pushed to just such a wide, like, gaming used to be like back in the early Nintendo days and whatnot. It, like you said, it wasn't so mass produced. It wasn't necessarily pushed to like the mainstream audience. And now gaming with like Call of Duty and everything, it's so like dumbed down and made for like kids to be able to play rather than like a niche group, And so I feel like that's one thing that has lost like how hard those old games were, because they were made for like hardcore gamers, like rather than now it's just made for kids.
There's like few games it seems like that are doing that. Like, I haven't played them yet, but like, what is it, like Bloodborne,
Dark Souls,
like Dark Souls and all that stuff there, or like even what's the Xbox game, like Cuphead. It's like they're pulling it to a certain degree out for people who want it, that just want that like hardcore challenge again. And then the rest, it's just kind of like staying the same. But or like even like Rocket League, that's why I like Rocket League. It's like you could be casual as hell with Rocket League, or you can be hardcore. It's like you can go one way or the other with it. Like stuff like that I like too, where it's accessible to one side, but if you want to go for it, like balls to the wall, you can do that with Rocket League. So I think that's definitely an appeal of games like that too.
Yeah, and I just love esports, and I wish that Nintendo had more stuff. I wish that like Smash. I mean the tournaments are huge in the fighting stuff, but they don't have just like a straight up like Smash tournament. It's always like Evo, you know. All
Yeah.
fighting games have a tournament right here. I wish that there was more like I don't know, a branded like ladder that is streamed like every week. You know how like League of Legends has the LCS where it's like
I get you, yeah.
the teams play every week and it's like promoted. I wish that like Smash had something like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it seems like a lot of that, there's like smaller leagues for like Smash, but they're not on that level. Like you're not going to see Smash possibly end up on, like TV or something like some of the other stuff. At least yet. I mean, E3, Nintendo's been doing it at E3 with the Smash tournaments and the Splatoon tournaments, but it's still not the same.
Yeah.
You
Have
know?
you ever gone to a convention like those, like E3 or something?
I haven't. I've only been a couple retro conventions.
Yeah.
But nothing as big as like I haven't even gone to like I've been to like one comic convention when I was younger, but I didn't really care about it at the time. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I've never gone to one. I wonder how much out of my element I'd be, because I feel like people would be so stoked, and I'd just be like, I don't know. I feel like I would be stoked that people were so stoked, though. You know,
Yeah.
It's cool to see people get so excited about something they love like that.
Yeah. Yeah. The only game I wanted, this is funny, I wanted to get on it while it was new, and the scene is still very small. I don't think it's ever going to get that much bigger, but that game Arms it's on Switch.
Oh, dude, yeah.
But I streamed it, and I had I guess you could call it a pro player. He's, it's not a big game, but for his caliber of playing, he was basically a pro player.
Yeah.
Smashed. I got like one hit on him, and he ran through everyone that was playing along in the stream and just destroyed him. He was really cool about it though, but I was just like, okay, this is what you can do in this game. And that like, so if this community is like that good as like maybe like a mid-tier or low-tier player, and I don't even want to like know like what the best players are, like, so I'm like, all right, I'll tap out on that. That's going to take a lot of time to get that good.
Yeah. One time I was streaming this random game called Robot Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball. Super random game, like $2. And then some dude came in my stream because, not many people stream it. Comes up in there and he's like, let me play with you guys. And he's just hitting every shot across the map, just like doing, 720, 360 shots on us. And I'm just like, what the crap? Look at his profile. I had 7,000 hours in the game. I'm like, 7, what? 7,000 hours in Robot Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball. And I'm like, what, dude?
You really liked it.
Yeah, when you love it, And I add him on my friends list. I still see him on that crap every day playing.
Wow.
But yeah, that Arms game, like, whenever I saw previews for it, I was like, dang, dude, that looks sick. Like, because it's like, it seems like it'd be like a skill-based kind of like, I don't know. Seems like it could be esport.
Yeah, you can. It's like, it's one of those things where, like we were saying earlier, it's like you can be super methodical and tactical about it, or you can just be really casual, and come into it just like, oh, whatever, it's just play it with like your friends and not. But I mean, I got a little tactical with it, and then to still play someone that's even better than that. But it's really fun to watch. Like I've been wanting to watch it on Twitch more, but the community's so small for that game. It's just like I don't really know where to watch it besides those like 10 people that are playing it on Twitch every now and then.
Yep. I wonder if, have you messed with VR at all? Have you played any VR?
No, I want to really bad.
I really want to too. Like, I saw this game called Beat Saber recently. It was like,
I saw that,
dude. It looks crazy.
Was it the viral video? Was it that video? Was you see like a YouTube video of someone doing it? That's what I saw.
Yeah,
and I went to Facebook.
Dude, it's so sick. Like, that game made me be like, dang, like the VR is gonna eventually be just so, I don't know, involved with like everything. And imagine VR like esports,
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, imagine if there was like a fighting game that was like VR, that people would like be standing on the stage and like fighting each other, but like 20 feet apart or something.
And then that starts to remind me of that awful movie that came out with Hugh Jackman. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh god!
And he's like, it's like they're basically like that. They have, I don't know if he had an actual helmet on, but they're on this in this arena and they fight robots. It's like it looked like Rock'em Sock'em robots, just
Oh,
Hugh Jackman, and they're swinging and punching with their arms, but the robots are the things actually fighting each other. I don't remember what the heck it was called, but it I didn't see it, but it looked very bad, and I know it got very bad rating.
Well, I just think about what was the one that just came out? Oh shoot.
Ready Player One?
Yeah, Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Like, I could really see that being in the future.
Oh yeah. I really hope that would be like if I can
Dude.
if I can put on like I mean, that would probably make me want to play more games like well, I mean, they have Skyrim VR. I mean, that's a start. Like a big open world game that's VR. That's the start, probably. Hopefully.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, like I mean the whole dream in gaming is to get into a game and just be in a different world, you know?
Yeah.
And VR, the main problem with VR is it's not accessible. You have to spend $800 or something. Or really the cheapest, you're going to spend is like $300. Like once they get it more accessible and cheaper, like I think the world really will turn to like Ready Player One status, like because I'll do it.
That might be a little scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be scary, but it's going to be really sick too. I feel like they would need to put like a timer on people or something.
Yeah,
you know?
I think I would definitely be one of those people if it's legit and it gets to that point. Sadly, I would be one of those people that's just like hooked up to their couch at all times and just like what's that? There's a movie that kind of like talk about that. Wall-E. Wall-E has that kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, I loved Wall-E. That was like one of my favorite movies growing up. My 18th birthday was a Wall-E birthday party. I loved it because that is what as technology advances, like it's gonna allow people to be more and more lazy. Like you already could never leave your house and get groceries and get food to you and get Amazon stuff sent to your house. You could already never leave your house and survive.
Yeah, you can. I actually was considering doing like Amazon for groceries and stuff like that. It's like why not? If it's easier and you're not paying that much more. It's like they gotta give you like as long as they give you enough incentive like to not look past it. It's like why would why not? Like Amazon Prime, you're not really paying much more outside of the subscription to get this stuff like that.
Yeah.
Why not just get it next day? Like buy a video game next day instead of going to GameStop on foot, and like just walk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had a tweet about it the other day. I was like, 95% of the time that I'm leaving Best Buy, it's right after I say I'll just go buy it on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like I'll say to the employee, I'll be like, dude, I can't find this thing. Do you guys have, I don't know, season 6 of Game of Thrones? And they're like, no, but we can do this and get it from this store and ship it here. I'm like, I'll just go to Amazon, dude. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, the last couple games I got, that's what it was. It was like, oh, this game's out. I look on Amazon first to see if I can get it next day. If it's not possible, I'm like, fine, I'll go out and just get it.
Yep. I love it. Like, I mean, I'd love stuff to be that accessible, but it does scare me for the future humans living in this society. Like, like kids are already so much on this. Like whenever I play games like Counter-Strike or even like Rocket League, I make it to where I can't see anyone saying anything because these kids are so toxic, man. Yeah. I just can't. And it's just,
I haven't even gone in that realm with like, I watched my girlfriend play Fortnite, and that was probably the most toxic. And it wasn't bad, they were just being typical, like I don't know, like freshmen in college that that are playing with a girl. Oh my gosh, But I haven't experienced that yet because I don't even really like chatting when I play with people, even if I have the option. So, like, I don't know. I haven't experienced, but I hear it can get pretty bad. I think the worst is playing Friday the 13th was the worst I've ever experienced, which was not bad. But it's like, what are these kids doing? What are you?
Like, I want to, dude. If I have kids, I'm gonna have OBS open on their computers, recording whatever they're doing. Like, I'm gonna make sure my kid's not acting like that because it really does affect people, man. Like, I'm 27 years old. And some kid, 13-year-old in a game, can say something to me that just ruins my night. And I'm just like, I don't want my kid to do that to some other kids or, something like that. I think
they might trap you too sometimes. There's some games where if once you're in it, you can't exit it or else you'll get screwed over. So it's like,
you get punished.
Then it's almost like they're kind of using that as a strategy maybe sometimes to get in your head, well, you got to keep playing them. You let your emotions get the best of you if they say the right things, and then you might lose the match, and they can benefit too.
Yeah. But back to Nintendo, at least we don't have to deal with that there,
Yeah.
that is the beauty of those games.
I don't think it'll. I don't, as much as I would like it to. I wish there was just a way you could do like an age verification. Like, I don't care. I'm old enough, so it's not gonna, it's not gonna ruin my day. Like,
exactly.
I'd be like, if there's an age verification, like 18 and older, you're good. You can do voice chat with some limitations. Like, at least that. Like, I can appreciate that they're trying to. Because they know they are marketing towards kids and adults. They don't want creeps, and there's a lot of things they're trying to avoid. But it would be nice for certain games just to be able to just not have to use Discord or sit on the phone and talk while you play. But
definitely, yeah.
I get it. I get it though, considering the other consoles and how bad it can get.
Yep. And what do you think Nintendo can do next after the Switch, or how long do you think the Switch is going to be like their thing? Do you think it's going to be like, I don't know, a 5-year thing before they even think about another option? Or
that's the thing. I don't. It's it just seems like they always get themselves in a weird position, whether it's good or bad, and somehow they find a way to just flip the script again and come out of it. So it's like, it's weird. It's like, how do you come out of that where you have a home console that's portable, you can play on the go, and then what is the next step after that? It's almost like you can't go backwards and make it only a home console again, or else it's like, what's the point? It's like, what's next? Especially if other companies try and mimic them in some way.
I bet they will too.
Then it's like, what can you do? Like, it'd be so weird to just see Nintendo go from like Switch to like, just a dedicated console box again.
Yeah.
It's like I have no idea where they could go from there unless they just make it more powerful,
Yeah.
and just do an upgraded version and just keep doing that for a while until
which is basically what PlayStation and Xbox has done too with their upgraded ones. And
it could be that just when technology gets to the next step, then they can upgrade it where you basically have like a PS4 or Xbox One caliber handheld in your hands, and that's the next step.
Yeah, and then I guess like technology wise, the only way I could see them technology wise really pushing it farther than what they're doing is like adding VR options to it. Like I mean, in 5 years down the line, I bet you VR is going to be super accessible.
Yeah. And at first, I wasn't very like receptive to VR, but then I started looking into more. I think PSVR, I'm on the fence, but the capabilities that like VR gaming with like PC based stuff is way cooler concept. Like it seems like it's less limited. It's not just game based. There's so many different applications and things you can do. And stuff where, like, that is actually really cool. Where it made me kind of open up to it more and want to try it.
Well, yeah, there's ones that there's a lot of stuff on Steam and that it isn't even geared towards gaming. There's one that it's just like you put it on and you can select to like go on a beach and there's like a whiteboard and it's just like a beach sound and you like walk and you can like draw your notes on this whiteboard and like, I don't know, be in like this environment, or there's one where you can get into a lobby with your friends. You guys all sit in a virtual movie theater and watch a movie together in front of you.
Really?
Yeah. So you can sit there and talk, and whenever you hear them talk there, it actually sounds like they're sitting next to you. You look over and their avatar's right there and you're just watching movies.
Virtual movies with the the hecklers in the movie that can ruin it for you.
Yeah, they have like AI back there like, F you. Yeah. No,
I mean, really cool.
I think the future of gaming does revolve around VR in a lot of sense. And in the sense of like, I don't know how much competitive games will go there, but I don't know. Nintendo, I think, could do some really cool stuff with it. And technology-wise, I feel like that's the only thing they haven't necessarily touched yet.
Yeah, and it seems the VR is more, it can be more casual too, which lots of Nintendo games are pretty casual.
Definitely.
In large, more than most other companies' games. They're a lot more casual, easy to just jump into. So it'll make sense.
Yeah. And so Okay, we talked about a ton of gaming. Now let's
Yeah.
talk about the band a bit. Ink Addict is a tattoo lifestyle brand. Their designs fit the aesthetic that everyone that loves tattoos is all about. They are a great company and are not only sponsor my stream, but have also sponsored my band, The Browning, for a long, long time. They're really great people with a vision that really matches the art and style of tattoos. Head over to inkaddict.com and Ink Addict Nation on Twitter to check out the sick deals they got going on, because they always got something. Go check them out, dudes. It's good stuff. Trust me. Now let's talk about the band a bit.
Sure.
And obviously Oceano, legendary vocalist. And
I don't know about that.
to a lot of people you are. So like, I don't know, man. You've had a long lasting career, and you guys have had like ups and downs where you like might have like, put things on hiatus, and then you came back and like, really like, I don't know, especially these last few years, you guys really started hitting it really, really hard again. And like, does it feel good to be back on the road, like hitting everything really hard again? Or is it like, I don't know, how does it feel right now?
I'm most excited about the Europe side of things. It's like, I was getting jealous of you guys, the Browning, like pumping over there to Europe all the time. I was like, man, we have like gone like 2-3 year gaps and only been over there like 2 or 3 times, and then now like there's going to be 3 times within the span of a year. So it's like a cool change, like because like that market for music can be far more beneficial if you stay consistent over there. So that's what I'm pretty stoked about. I hate the back and forth flights, but they're like getting easier. But I'm most stoked about that and trying to get outside of the country more while we can, and kind of take advantage of that whenever it does end.
Oh, for sure.
But the US side is, still cool, like to be playing with still with cool and like sick bands that are doing cool things. And
you guys are always on sick packages, like, but and that's the thing about Oceano's name in general is like, you guys will always be like a super solid name to where like everyone would be totally fine with taking you guys out, and it's so sick for you guys that like I don't know, it's like having Oceano on your package just makes it that much better. It's always a band, it's just like, I don't know, every heavy band would be totally down to take you guys out, I feel. And
it's cool to still be able to do that, because there was a time like in a certain time span of the band where it was just like things kind of were looking a little dismal, and they're just like, we're not getting it offers, and just kind of like it picked up. I think it was mostly just the writing and the morale boosted because of that, and I chose to stick it out, and it kind of was like, should we stop, and then just kind of stuck through, held on and stuck it out, and it definitely
it's hard off. Man, like I feel like every dude in every metal band has had a time where they're like, what am I doing? And if they're not, then they're freaking delusional, know? And so it's like, I've had plenty of times where I'm like, dang, man, like I need to start focusing on some other crap or something. But it's always such a hard thing whenever like in my sense, I feel like the Browning, there's no other band that sounds like it in the world. So like I feel almost like to where I couldn't stop, because if I did, then the sound would like die with it, And I feel like I don't want to let anyone down. Is the reason why. And for like you guys, you guys are a legendary deathcore band, and you really are, no matter how humble you try being about it. You guys really are, in my opinion, and I'm not sucking up, this is just my opinion in general. Oceano has changed the deathcore and metal scene in the sense of like the sound wise. After Oceano really broke, bands started just like changing their sound completely to start being like you guys, I feel like. And even especially in the local scene too, so many local bands started like going towards that super heavy route, and like your vocals too. I really do feel like Oceano was like a game changer.
That's interesting, because it's like I don't know, it's like a generational jump, because then for us it's like we kind of were respectfully, and they know about it, like we were kind of pulling from like Acacia Strain, where it's like that was the band, and I was like, there's no other band that's this damn heavy with this type of approach to it, so we took it and kind of did that in a death metal rooted type of approach, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
to see that then spawn some other bands doing. I guess that's the way of music.
Yeah, well, you want to inspire in some way, whether you want to be like stick to your guns, inspire people motivationally or morally, or if you want to be like crazy bands like or Polyphia or Animals as Leaders, inspire people musically.
Yeah.
And so the whole goal is to inspire something, and that's and I really feel like you guys really did, and so like it can be hard to let go of that, even no matter how like dark things might seem. I can understand it might be hard to be like, maybe I need to, but it's like I've only seen nothing but things rising for you guys like in the past few years. So
that's
like
good. Well, thanks.
yeah, you guys are doing great, and Europe is great too. Have you guys done any festivals in Europe?
No, that's like the next goal. That's how we saw it, is to try and build that presence there, whether we can build a presence, hopefully getting like direct support stuff, and then coming back to a headliner, and then use all that on the resume, to be like, can we get on some of these festivals now? Or that's like one of the big goals. Like it sucked seeing Warped Tour go away, because that was a big goal for me. And you see all these festivals go like, oh yeah, I want to play an Ozfest. Nope, it's gone. Oh, Sounds of the Underground. Nope, it's gone. Mayhem Fest, that'd be cool. Nope, it's gone. And then Warped Tour is the only one that like I was like, yeah, this is going to be the one that, even if it's not anytime soon, maybe on the way out, we can possibly get a couple shows on Warped Tour. Nope, it's gone. So it's like Europe festivals are like the last big festival-based goal that I really want to like do at least once.
And I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but I swear to God, I feel every single year we were told we were going to play Warped Tour, and then it never happened, dude. Like every year, like this is the year you're going to do it, and then it was just like, I don't know, like it just kind of. I don't know if it was the same for you guys, but that seemed like it happened to us literally like 6 times.
I think on the other end, for us, it was just like we were like getting asked if we were going to, like either like between peers and stuff, like, you on Warped Tour this year? Like, no, like I don't. It was one of those things I really would have liked to do, but it was more rooted around the fact that I wanted to say very awesome, inspiring things, but also very messed up things, because you.
Oh, Adam died. We'll cut him back in whenever he gets back. Oh, you're back. There we go. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying it's one of like I wanted to say the coolest things, but also the rudest things in a crowd like that. You just want to get people's expression. I guess Acacia Strain.
Yeah, I was going to say when Acacia Strain.
Yeah, they got to hold it down in that department. He definitely. I saw them on Warp, and he definitely said some pretty ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw Acacia Strain, he I went and saw them in Whitechapel and Gwen Stacy or something like that back in like 2009 or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember, super long ago. And I just remember standing there, and he was just like, if you straighten your hair and you're wearing skinny jeans, then get out of here. And I'm just standing there like, oh God, don't look at me.
Jeez.
No, yeah. So it's their thing though. And I think he might have like chilled on that a little bit recently, but
that's
definitely.
That's almost like not in like the purest sense of it, but that's like some like, a specific dictator type of speech against one type of demographic.
And I was just looking around. I'm like, this is 2009 at a Whitechapel show. Yeah. Everyone's wearing skinny jeans, dude.
Yeah. Well, they had a shirt that I grabbed when they toured with Job for a Cowboy. It was brief free since 2003. It was like they did their logo in like the deathcore style, like like font, and then on the back it just said that on it, and I was like, yes, I got it.
Yeah, and talking about Warped Tour, like, I know some people are like really bummed it's gone, but I'm kind of looking at it from another perspective, because if you weren't on Warped Tour, you basically almost didn't tour in the summer. Like, and because all the other summer tours died. Screaming Like You Mean It died. Thrash and Burn died. There was a few others that I don't even, All Stars tour, like all those other big summer tours like fell off because of Warped Tour. And so I'm kind of looking at Warped Tour falling off as maybe hoping that more of those like Thrash and Burn style tours might come back. Like, it might leave more options for small/mid tier touring bands to be able to tour in summer without the market being smushed.
Yeah, that's how I saw it when I heard about it. Everyone was looking weird about it, like within like friend groups and stuff. It was like, oh, you hear Warped Tours? I was like, thank God. Like nothing against it. Like I wasn't salty that I didn't get on or anything. Like it's cool. It was a cool thing, but it's kind of was like the king is dead now. Like we're all still trying to grind and compete with all this stuff going on. So I felt the same thing as you. Like this is going to be an opportunity for like some of those bands like us that started on just grinding, during summer and spring break and stuff like that, to get out there and they can actually maybe, get some attention being on a smaller tour. Yeah, so I think it's cool. I'm ready to see like next year, like what comes.
Next summer is gonna be.
I hope someone doesn't. I hope someone doesn't just like, all right, let's pump our money into the next big tour, and then just it's a new Warped or Mayhem.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's strange the whole way the scene is right now. It's super hard, and people question like, why are all these freaking big tours dying and blah blah blah. It's like because like I feel like they based all their funding and the way they ran them based on like whenever people did go to shows. Like there are bands that kill it, but really not like it used to be, And people stay at home for entertainment now. They stay at home and watch BlaqMario on Twitch. They don't go to a concert, and so it's like that's why all those things are dying off, because I feel like the funding is just not there to really do it. So I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be. I feel like summer tours should take a hint. That like all these summer tours have fallen off. Like, don't try to do any big, like festival style summer runs. I feel like it just leave the bands up to do their like 4 band packages. I feel.
Now I thought Ozfest. I heard like pluses and minuses when you're a smaller band on Ozfest, but overall, it seemed like a lot of those smaller bands back in the day, like Bleeding Through when they got on Ozfest and Unearthed and all that stuff, it seemed like all those bands benefited. Like it wasn't too stacked to the brim with a lot of bands that were bigger than those new bands. It was like they had their own stage for the small bands, they had their own stage for the big bands. That's it. And it's like you came early to check out some new stuff if you wanted, or you came late to check out only the bigger bands already established. It seemed like the Ozfest kind of set up, at least just basically 2 stages and that's it, seemed to work a lot better to help bands get exposure. Whether or not they made money or not, who knows? But
well, I also kind of question now, like, is like, because back then that is how bands got exposure, like that, and like music videos. Now it's like I question if people even give a crap about music videos. Like it's all Spotify, and so I like some bands get exposure off touring with like Motionless or something like that, right? But like, do people even go there and really pay attention to these opening bands? I'm not sure. I feel like really the only way to gain the exposure is to have some sort of crazy thing blow up online. Yeah. Or I don't know. Like, do you think the exposure is still there for these small bands? Because like, there's also a big thing in the industry right now where pretty much every tour is looking for buy-on bands. Yeah. Like, and so it's like, people have offered to buy on our tours. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I want people to buy on, because I don't know if that exposure is there actually for the opening bands. Like, what do you think about that?
I don't think I would, because I always look at it from my perspective. Like, if would I starting out want to buy onto a tour and just kind of bank on just a leap of faith that it's enough people are going to come out to watch us? Like, it's just like, seems like a gamble for at least the buy-on thing. Would I go even back then? Would I really like sweat it if I missed the first band on like a stacked package? Like, no, I wouldn't.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Unless it was like those few packages that came out where it's like every band was known. Yeah. Like, but besides that, I never like really sweated that. So it's like,
yeah, exactly. It's tough, man. Like, and I feel like the buy-on thing is kind of like, it's kind of really screwing stuff. I understand why buy-on's there. Big bands kind of need buy-on sometimes to pay upfront costs for tours, right? And because also big bands are taking a semi-hit on their guarantees nowadays with how the industry's rolling. So to pay for your flights, to pay for your half deposit on your travel, bus, band to go, whatever the crap you're taking. Like the money from buy-ons really helps, but also what it's doing, like I've experienced this. I got to the point because we have problems getting support offers because our band is so strange. Like people are like, wait, don't they play techno? Like so it's like it's hard for us to get stuff. So I was to the point where I was like, I would be willing to pay a marketing contribution, is what they call it. And so pay the marketing contribution, and we got offered this tour. I'm not going to say what it was, but it was like $1,200 or $1,250 for a marketing contribution. It was like for like a 2 out of 4 slot. And I was like, deal. Like, I'll do that. I'll pay $1,200 to do this. And then like a week and a half, 2 weeks go by, like, hey, is everything all good? Like, I'm ready to send in $1,200. And they got back and said, someone else offered $4,000.
Oh gosh.
And I was just like, dude, you're about to start screwing every medium-sized band out of opportunities if you're just going to take a smaller band for more money.
Yeah, we had it might have not even happened, but I remember we had a situation where we were completely not ready as a band, but we could have gotten it together. And I had a call come in that Lamb of God they were scrambling to find an opener for a tour. And it might have not happened, but our manager hit me up and was like, hey, Lamb of God might be looking for an opener. They're scrambling to get an opener. Would you guys do it for like $100 or like whatever? And I was like, yes. And then we're like, what's up? I called all the dudes. I was like, hey, can you be here? Can you get ready? Can we jam like once? Like, let's do it. Like, we got to be ready though to say yes. Like, can we make it happen? We were like, we could make it happen. It'd be really sketchy, but you could do it.
It's worth it.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, what's up? I'll let you know at the end of the day. And then it was like, oh, they took some band. I'll do it for free.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, what's the band? Never heard of them.
Never heard of them. You never do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like agents and managers are devaluing bands that are worth value in the sense of like they don't give a crap what the band size is, what they can contribute, as long as they're getting some sort of monetary benefit out of it.
Yeah, discount or more money. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like, and then it just starts to sound like almost like like the deep inside of like the movie industry then, or the bigger players in the music industry, like mainstream music. It's like turning into that now, metals. Yeah,
it's and honestly, I think it's just because the money is starting to not be there in a lot of aspects, and so I feel like they're just like, man, we need to make a little bit of extra money here, you know. And
everyone's running to the watering hole because everything water's drying up.
Yeah, and it's also a little weird. Like, I don't know if you pay attention to like Billboard's like numbers or anything, but like The Word Alive, great band, huge. They're a big band too. They sold 2,200 first week on the album they just did. 2,200. Huh. Like the Brownings last album did 2,800, and I'm not in no way saying that's because they're falling off of their suck. Like they're killing it. Like they're touring all the time, and so that's another thing that makes the money kind of scary for thinking about metal is like a band like The Word Alive, how great they are and how huge they are and how they're always on tour and killing it, and they sold 2,200, and it's because Spotify, It's crazy, man. The money is going to start getting real scary here, and I think the industry just needs to kind of think about how it can start monetizing rather than focusing on album sales and playing live and buy-ons.
Yeah, I some of that I like though. I don't know. Like when you start off as a band, or like I've talked to a lot of people starting off bands. Like, yeah, we're gonna do a demo and we're gonna sell out the shows. Like, no, don't sell anything. Like in this the way the industry is now. Give everything away, like until you can actually make like money that's worthwhile. Just give it away for free because they're gonna find a way to get it for free anyway. So like, screw it. But
and that's whenever starting bands, I totally agree. Like you should put yourself out there at a loss if possible, just to get some exposure. And but I feel like it's starting to get harder to do that depending on certain things in the industry. But I still love the metal industry. I just hope that certain things start getting a little better as far as like touring and like money for touring and helping out small to medium sized touring bands,
Yeah, it seems like everyone's just got us now with the way it is. It's cool to see like a lot of big bands. Like, what was that? For instance, so you saw like Whitechapel and Suicide Silence tour together, which like, did you ever like those are two pretty big bands in the scene.
Yeah.
Or what's the other one? Whitechapel and Black Dahlia. Like
Yep.
it seems like maybe as a fan we're going to benefit more because of it. Is like now they're starting to really try and stack packages again to get people in the door instead of like just letting the one headliner speak for itself and just filling it with a bunch of like bands that only need like or are only going to get $100 or something.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked on that side of it, because nowadays I'm not really interested in lots of concerts because it's just like I want to see as many of my favorite bands all in one show, not go to 6 different shows just to see them all.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the packages you guys are being on are stacked. This one you're doing coming up that you just announced, like that's a sick package. Like the whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing is a sick package, and those are always great, man. And I mean, you guys are really killing right now. I'm stoked. Nice. Are you guys working on new stuff?
We're like in that stage where it's like
starting to be talked about.
Just talking about it and trying to just tinker with ideas. Where Scott, our guitarist, is just kind of working on ideas, but I think it's just kind of hard sometimes, to get motivated and stuff.
Oh yeah,
especially when you're just about to go on the road, again.
Yeah. Dude, is there any element to Oceano that you think you ever might add that's beyond like what you guys have done on your past few records? Like, is there any extra like sound thing that you guys are thinking about, or that you specifically or might be thinking about, or anything?
I guess we've done it. I don't know how to really describe it. Just like that like creepy spoken word, maybe light distortion on the voice stuff. Like I think I've dabbled with that a little bit here and there, but just kind of tucked under. I still like it like that, but I enjoy stuff like that where it just breaks away from all the screaming and stuff, but it's not singing. It's just something to change it up where it's more. It builds an atmosphere or an environment. Instead of just gutturals. All the song and stuff like that.
I remember very first tour I ever did in my life. Very first tour ever was with you guys in Europe. It was whenever I was with his Blood Orange Black. First time I ever toured, and I remember on that tour, and that was a stacked freaking bill.
Yeah,
like Despised Icon, Architects, Ghosts Inside, I Also Barrel as Blood Orange Black, Oceano, and Horse the Band. Yep. And I remember specifically, I've always thought about this whenever I think about the sound of Oceano, and the singer of Horse the Band said that Oceano sounded like 1,000-foot wide machine just chugging through the forest, just killing everything. It's like zhang, zhang, zhang. I was like, that's a perfect description, at least from the sound from back then. You guys have changed a bit from then, but I loved that description of the way that you guys sounded back then.
I watch videos from that tour now, and I'm like, oh gosh, with the way music has changed now, like with like Kempers and Axe Effects and things like that. Now to hear pretty much just a tone as it is, like woo, it's different.
Oh man, I can't. It's hard for me to watch videos from back then. Like that was the first time I ever toured. That as Blood Orange Black's the first band I ever did vocals in. Like I didn't know what I was doing, dude. And it was an experience for me. It made me realize I wanted to do music for sure. And and I just remember that tour happened now, the lineup would be so much different. Like, can you just think? Ghost Inside was the opening band on that tour.
True, yeah.
Like opening band. Like that's a crazy thing.
Yeah, I always love looking back at tour flyers and kind of seeing like how things would stack up nowadays and who's still around and who's not.
Yeah, that's the big one, is who's still around, because like so many bands, it's hard, and bands just get old. Once you start getting up there, you start questioning like what can you do,
Yeah.
But this is again like talking about what I'm doing here or with my stream or with your stream. It's always good to try to figure out how you can still be creative and have a career as alongside with your music, but also still being creative and interacting with people.
Oh yeah. It's more fun, like not trying to just stand like your ground on just the fact that like you're a musician, like branching out is always cool, and like regardless of the band side, a lot of people, like him, love him. I don't care. Like I like him as a person, but like with what Franz does from Attila, it's like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people need to take that as an example. It's like you gotta, work your outlets and try new things. You can always fail. You just just try new stuff, and you might find something cool.
Yeah,
Out of it.
It's so rare for someone to become successful when they're super young on the first thing they've ever tried.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, some of the richest, most famous creators in the world didn't like. Old girl that wrote Harry Potter. That she didn't get her book signed until she was like 35 or something.
That's true.
Yeah. Or the dudes in Lamb of God, they didn't get signed until they were in their 30s.
Yeah. Not to bring back, I know we've come back to Acacia Strain a few times, but that's how I see Strain too. It's like they I'm sure they got a lot of flack for their sound and what they were doing, and they kind of stuck to it. They always were pretty heavy band for when they first came out and stuff, and like they're kind of like in their prime and more now than they were even 4, 5, 6 years ago. Like, they're like still smashed. Like they are like that band, like everyone wants to be as heavy as Strain, or did want to be as heavy as Strain.
And they are also another band that I put up there with you guys that really made like you can really tell the impact a band has by the local bands that you play with all the time, right? Because everyone was trying to sound like Wormwood for so long.
Yeah.
And so it's like Acacia Strain is one of the biggest impacts on like the heavy music that I've seen as well.
How many bands do sound check or cover Car Bomb?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and with Franz, I think he's brilliant in the sense of like he's branded himself, like he's gone to brand himself outside of just being vocalist from Attila. He has his foot in all these different things, and I think that's great, and I think that's amazing that he's looking outside of metal, because as much as we all love metal, there needs to be something more to the career of just reaching as many people as possible. That's the goal, really.
I want to see Franz branch out and start a restaurant. Like
that would be great.
Like Franzi's.
That'd be perfect. Yeah. He's someone I would love to have on, like, to talk to, just like in this way, just have a conversation about life and what they're doing and stuff. And Hammers Esports is a competitive gaming organization with a major focus on mobile gaming. I've been working with Hammers for a bit now, and they've really helped me out in a lot of ways. Go check out Hammers Esports on Twitter and show them some love. All right? Go do it. Don't even question it. Hammers Esports. I mean, as far as BlaqMario, like, what's your plans? Like, what do you plan on doing with it, like, to grow it, or not necessarily to grow it, but like what you want to create as a whole, like
what my brand is.
Like
basically it's similar stuff what we're talking about, where I some call it my rants on my stream, where like I want it to stand alone, where it's like as you see kind of in here, where you see like BlaqMario at the top but Adam Warren at the bottom. It's like Adam Warren is Oceano, BlaqMario is Twitch. They don't really intertwine very often, but they're the same person, kind of like Superman. It's like, dude, we know you're Clark Kent, but fine, you're doing cool stuff, so we'll just ignore it, kind of like that, where they both kind of are the same, but they're not, they're just one. But
so you want to create a personality that is known for being BlaqMario, not known for being Adam Warren of Oceano.
And kind of roll with that on
definitely
Twitch and stuff. And
well, I mean, I'm telling you, there's no other person that does what you're doing. And I mean, look, the whole get up, dude, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful sight.
It's kind of a damning thing, because it's not really like, I wouldn't consider it an original thing. It's basically like cosplay on Twitch. With people do that all the time, but it's like, this is what I'm into, and it's like, yo, why don't you just dress up like Mario, and like bring it full circle and find and kind of build a gimmick around it, but it's genuine, and
definitely. It's what you love. Clearly you have a passion, dude.
It's a damning thing, because I'm starting to notice on Twitch, it's like I've at times I won't wear it. I won't wear the costume for certain streams that aren't Nintendo related, or if I just not, I just want to chill.
You chill,
But I'm noticing that there is a big difference in the people that either drop follows or come in the stream and hang out. I'm noticing a big difference, like between when the costume's on and when the costume's off, and so it's just like, all right, this is gonna stick. I need to like probably get more costumes and stuff like that.
Maybe figure out a way to make it a little more comfortable for you or something.
Yeah. Get some custom outfits made.
I mean, it's branded, dude. It's sick. Like you're trying to do something that you're super passionate about to interact with more people, and like I'm right there with you with trying to get bigger than yourself with it. Like I'm trying to brand a JonnyFX thing, but 90% of my viewers, actually probably 98% of my viewers are just Browning fans,
Well, yeah, it's the same with me still too.
Yeah. But the goal is to get past that eventually. Yeah,
you're smashing it with my favorite thing is the music, the writing on stream, because I think that's the Twitch creative side of things, whether people know you from the band or not. It's like, if you're a producer, you're a producer, you're a musician, you're all those things, and you're kind of showing that all in one. And the Browning fans can get behind it, because it's like you're seeing kind of like an inside behind the scenes look at you when you're writing, or how you write and stuff like that. So that's really cool. I'm sure there's people that do it, right, that do stuff like that, but I haven't seen anyone do it. Especially for metal, it's cool for metal, but maybe there isn't a way to do it. Is there people that do that?
Well, the thing is, there's no like established musicians that really do like full writing sessions. Like there's people that will write like hip hop beats, and they'll write like techno and stuff on Twitch, but no one really in metal. That's why like whenever I was first starting, every one of my stream titles was Heavy's music on Twitch. And so, I was just trying to really push that, because there's a market for heavy music on Twitch, and like I don't know, the metal is so vast, and now there's a difference. Sometimes the songs that people request on my stream, they'll request like, freaking Waking the Cadaver style stuff, and then I'm like, okay, the normal Rocket League person probably is dipping right now, like they're out of here. But no, I think that what you're doing is great, and I totally back wanting to not necessarily break away, but do something that's a different entity than what you've done already. I totally back that.
Thanks.
Because it is a good feeling to I don't know, start something fresh and have people like really love it, And I've been in your chat, like people are in there all the time, and you're getting a lot of follows, and you haven't really pushed it. You haven't even pushed it on your band page. Like I pushed mine on my band page, So like I back that approach to really just try to grow it naturally and whatnot, and see what you can do with it. And anyone that isn't on Twitch, because I'm gonna be uploading this to YouTube, anyone that isn't on Twitch, you should start using it. It's great. We have there's a lot of metal dudes that are up on there, and like me and Adam stream all the time, and I don't know about you, I'm gonna try to do as many streams while I'm on tour, like in real life stuff, like show like behind the scenes stuff, and it's a little harder to do, but it's a way that you can really interact with people that you enjoy, and also maybe find out about some games you never thought you'd like seeing and stuff. And so
that's one of the things it seems hard to get the casual metal fan to just go to Twitch, but I feel like the ones that do, they're like, what have I been doing with my life? Like that's how I was like, I know Twitch, I get it, but then I finally got to it, and I was like, this is better than YouTube. It's like, it's live, you can find everything, like art, music, games, people sitting there with their shirt off eating sandwiches. Like it's like it's just a flea market of content.
Well, it's interactive. Like I've there's a bunch of people talking in chat and whatnot, but like I would say that I've made friends on Twitch. Like they're internet friends, but to me, I've always had internet friends my whole life. I've been a gamer forever, and so it's like it's cool to interact with these people. And I've also like met. We played like 3 shows going down to that festival in Austin. We played with you guys, and every show there was like 2 people there that were from my stream.
Yeah,
like
same for
hanging
me too.
out. Yeah,
that was sick. Like the first tour that happened because I started taking it more seriously, like, and then that gap of time. So.
Yeah, and so it's cool to just like, it's just nice to interact with people on a platform that is based around mutual loves. You know, you love gaming. We love sitting here talking and having and being friends, and we also have a love for metal too. That's there. So it's like. It's cool to just be able to interact with people like that. So if there's anyone that's not on Twitch, go to Twitch. You can find me JonnyFX _ on Twitch. I'm getting that changed in August, but also go to BlaqMario. And that's BLAQ Mario.
Q.
Yeah, the Q. I like the Q though. That's also branded. It's also brandable.
It's an R&B kind of vibe thing.
Yeah,
a little bit to
it. Perfect. Well, I appreciate you talking. I enjoyed having conversation. I'm going to do more of these, and hopefully someday down the line we'll be able to have another conversation. Sometime. So awesome. Well, I appreciate it, dude.
No
and I'll talk to you again here soon. All right.
All right.
Peace, brother.